Hello. I would like to start out by saying thank you guys very much for allowing me the pleasure to speak in front of you today. My name is Peter Haddad. I was born May 26, 1989. And today I'd like to share with everybody some of the things that's changed since then and some events and some very interesting facts that happened a little over 25 years ago. The first thing I'd like to talk about is technology and how it has changed dramatically since then. Today, our cell phones are hand sized, and it seems like they're always glued to our hands. Computers have become more of a necessity rather than a luxury. Something else that's interesting is music. Pop, rap, techno, new metal are all more popular now than what they ever have been. And techno is a newer genre. The cost of living is much higher than what it was 25 years ago. However, there's a couple things that still stayed the same. One of them is sports. The other one is rebels and revolutionaries still exist. And the third one is the military existence in a lot of countries are the same, if not stronger than ever. I'd like to go over some economic information uh, from May of 1989. The world population then was 5.1 billion. Today it's over 7 billion. The life expectancy back then was about 75 years, and today it's about 79. The U.S. population then was roughly 247 million. Today it's 309 million. Some interesting financial information was that the average price of a car, May of 1989, was $12,000. A two-topping pizza was roughly $2.50. A pound of steak was $3.79. This is my favorite. A gallon of gas was 97 cents. The average cost of a new house was 120,000. The average median income was 28,000, and the average monthly rent was about $420. The cost of a U.S. stamp back then was a quarter. Like I mentioned earlier about music, music has always been an important topic to a lot of people. People in 1989 loved music just as much as they do today, if not more. And it seems like once a week, once a month, you'll see a top 5 or 10 or 40 of the most popular songs for that time span. And I'd like to go over some of the top 5 songs that were in May of 1989. Jody Watley with Real Love, Mike Damian with Rock On, New Kids on the Block with I'll Be Loving You, Betty Midler with Wind Beneath My Wings, and Paula Abdul, Forever Your Girl. Now I'd like to share some events and the dates of those events that I found really interesting that happened in May of 1989. On May 1st, Disney's 135-acre MGM Studios opens to the public. On May 11th, France did a nuclear test at its Morora Island. Also on the 11th, Kenya bans ivory to preserve its elephant hide. On May 13th, George W. Bush Sr. orders 2,000 troops to Panama. Also on the 13th, 1 million Chinese students crowd Beijing to protest greater democracy. On May 14th, final episode of Family Ties airs on television. On May 15th, the U.S. Basketball League cancels its summer schedule. On May 17th, the longest taxi cab ride took place with 14,000 miles, and it cost $16,000. On May 17th, Nelson Mandela receives a bachelor's from the University of South Africa. On May 20th, China declares martial law in Beijing. May 24th, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade premieres in theaters. May 25th, Mikhail Gorbachev elected president of the Soviet Union. Also on the 25th, the Calgary Flames defeat the Montreal Canadiens to win the Stanley Cup. May 26th, which is my birthday, at 7:42 a.m., radio calls for a moment of silence to honor radio, which I found very interesting. Also on the 26th, the United States performs a nuclear test at its Nevada test site. May 29th, students in China construct an exact replica of the Statue of Liberty. May 30th, Margaret Ray pleads guilty to breaking into David Letterman's house. And on May 31st, Speaker of the House of Representatives Jim Wright resigns. So, we've learned that every day is a part of history, and a lot has changed since then. Make every day a better day, and be thankful for what we have, and that we should never take anything for granted. Thank you very much for allowing me to speak today.